This conference will now be recorded.
A very good afternoon to all. Am I audible? Thank you, Subhashni, for your response. So, guys, can you please ask your friends to join soon? Only 14 members have joined. So, guys, kindly make sure that you join the sessions on time. So, after 3 to 4 minutes, I will log the meeting so that you guys will not be able to enter my session. So, once you entered, and if you're leaving in the middle of the session, means if you try to enter into the session again, obviously you guys will not be entered. Okay, so kindly join on time. So, is the screen visible? Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you for your response. So yes, so hope I'm not new to you guys. So we have already know each other. So this is Brinda from assistant professor from Department of ECE. So I'm going to handle you advanced Java programming subject for you this semester. Okay. So before learning what is meant by Java itself, you guys have directly jumped into this advanced Java programming concepts. So this course might be little difficult for you to understand because you have not yet concentrated on basic Java concepts. So only few from your class have been joined in Java for Beginners course. So only I'm not sure whether they will also be able to understand the concepts. Okay, so this could be a little bit difficult one for you because you guys have not known the basic Java concepts already. Okay, so is there anyone who have learned Java before? Guys, and one more thing is that very important thing, it should definitely be an interactive session. So if you guys are going to sit idle, means humble request from my side is please do not join my session. Okay, so definitely it should be an interactive session. So then only you guys will be able to understand the concepts because you are directly studying the very advanced concepts. So if you guys are not interactive enough, then you will not be able to understand the concepts, as well as if you have doubts, means clear it then and there. Do not keep it stacked. Okay, so kindly acknowledge me. Is that okay for you?
Okay,
I have
ma'am.
a little Okay, I have a little disappointment from your class because I have been handling for first years AIDs department, CSBS department, and even for third EC. So if I put a single message, I could see enormous number of replies from those students as well as from third years, but I couldn't get a single response from you guys. At my starting class itself, I feel disappointed because that I could say enormous responses from those guys. So these 3 semesters it was like that only for me, but now for I couldn't see any, see on total only 4 responses I was able to identify. So guys, please be responsible and please be interactive. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So before we move on to the syllabus, or before we move on to our subject, we can discuss what is the subject is about and what are all the platform tools we are going to use. So, and after that we can move on to our syllabus part. Okay, ngla? So the subject course code is U19 CS512. It is a computer science department subject. So this is a professional elective subject for you. So I'm going to handle you this particular subject, which is advanced Java programming. Okay. So EC students will be studying Java programming, but you guys are studying advanced Java programming. Okay. So the agenda for this today's session is that we will be seeing the introduction to course and what are all the platforms we are going to use for this online learning. Okay, Ngla? So not about the platform which you are going to work your Java programs. I'm telling about the platforms what we are going to use for your online classes, like for attending the quiz. Likewise, okay, and then introduction to Java, and then history of Java, and then Java buzzwords. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is the agenda of today's session. So before we move into our course introduction, first we should know what are all the course outcomes are there. So if I study this course, what will I be able to get from that particular course? So see, from your model one, you will be understanding about Java language and its fundamentals. So as we have directly jumped into advanced Java programming, so to make you guys understand, make you guys fit with the basic concepts of Java. So our first model will be covering the Java language fundamentals. Okay, like how you have your C language in first model, you will be having like a data types, variables, identifiers, so and so, right? So likewise in our first model also we will be covering with the fundamental things. Okay, and then in our second model we will be dealing with OOPS concept. So if I say oops concept, immediately C++ only strikes into your mind. So C++ has an advantage of using oops concept, so that property is being inherited in Java as well. So Java also supports object oriented concepts, so that we are going to see in our second module. So that is a course outcome of that particular second module. Okay, in third CO3 you will be understanding the Java libraries and no effective programming with streams. Okay, so as how we have libraries, various libraries in C file, a header file, so math.h, string.h. Likewise, we have enormous numbers of libraries in C language, like, right? So similar to that, we also have many extension libraries in Java as well. So that kinds of libraries we are going to explore in Unit 3. Okay, and from CO4, you will be understand the enhanced Java features, as we have some basic advantages related to Java. So what are all the things which are even more enhanced as far as now it is being considered? So that we are going to see from our CO4, and CO5, it is create a system based application using AWT and Swing. So there's from all the four models, you guys will be learning the concepts and theories which are related to Java programming and Java futures, how to write a program, run a program, compile a program. So and from model 5, what are all the things you have learned, you are going to apply it, and you are going to create a system based application using AWT and a Swing software. Okay, so this is the model coverage for our syllabus. So model, we have 5 models, as you guys know. So the model one deals with Java versions and context. That is, you're going to study what the Java is about, how the program of Java structure would be, how to define a variable, how to make use of the input statements and output statements. So likewise, all the basic things, basic rules which you are going to follow in Java programming, we are going to see in module one. Okay. So not only the basic syntax and syntax rules and semantics we are going to study, but we are also going to see the evaluation of Java from Java starting stage, Java 8, Java 9, Java 10, and Java 11. Now what's happening? So all those evolutions are also we are going to cover in module 1. Okay, and in module 2, it is, as I have discussed before, oops concept and exceptional handling. Exceptional handling is nothing but the error handling mechanisms, and this oops concepts like inheritance, packages, polymorphism, enumerations, all those things we are going to handle in our module 2. Okay, and in module 3, as we discussed before, Java libraries and effective programming with streams and lambdas. Lambda is nothing but a function kind of thing, a specific function. So now it might sound new to you, but once we start studying it, it will be very much easy. Okay, so in module 3, different kinds of libraries we are going to study. Okay, yes, and in module 4, enhanced Java currency. concurrency. So the concepts behind the completable future and reactive programming. So if I do a particular programming, immediate feedback I should get, and if I get the immediate feedback only, there is some error means I will be able to correct it. So likewise, interactive kinds of programs I'm going to develop in my enhanced concepts. Okay. And finally, module 5, as we discussed above, we are going to create a system based application by means of AWT and Swing. Okay. And Swing controls. So this is the overview on the syllabus of our advanced Java programming. Okay. So do not, if it sounds new to you, means please do not worry. We can make it as simple as possible. Okay. But the humble request from my side is please be interactive and please listen to the topics very carefully. Okay. So the platforms we are going to use for this particular subject is that for an online class, either GoToMeeting. If suppose we have any issues in GoToMeeting, means we can go with Google Meet. Okay. And then you guys will be asked to answer some quizzes in your PPT itself, but we will be opting for slido.com and nearpod.com for your real-time quizzes. Hope you guys have heard of this. Am I correct? Have you guys answered your quiz part in this particular platform, Slido and Nearpod? Does it sound familiar to you? No. Okay, fine. So this is what I would follow for my online teaching. Okay, so for my first years as well as for my third years, I'm following the same, and even for placement training also I'm following the same only. Not a big deal. It's very, instead of answering your instead of giving your answers in chat box, you will be giving that platform. That's it. Okay, like how you answer in your Google forms, similar to that, but it will be a real time. In Google form you will be doing it from your end at your convenient time, and it will reach to me, and then I will be seeing at my convenient time. But this is not like that. Real time, I will send you a question, and in real time, in webinars and all, you will be sending polls, right? Polling, so like that kind of thing. So real time quizzes we can engage by means of the Slido and Nearpod. So we can make use of this for our real time quizzes, so that it will be even more interactive. Okay. And finally, Google Classroom for sending the materials or question papers or any PPTs which are being handled. So obviously we will be using the Google Classroom, and I will be sending you the Google Classroom link, so you can accept it and you can join. Okay. And if suppose if you're not using these two, means for sending quizzes or anyone, so you will be using this Google form. So these are all the platforms we are going to use. And if I use any other platform, means definitely I will give a basic intro about it, and then we will be start using that platform. Okay. So is it okay for you all, the platforms what we are going to use? So guys, it's Google GoToMeeting and Google Meet, Google Classroom and Google Forms sound similar to you, but I'm not sure how many of you are aware of that. This is Slido.com and Nearpod.com. Okay. So how to use the Slido.com, so that we can see here. So Slido.com, either you can download it as an app. So it is available in Play Store as well as an App Store. So you can type it Slido, it will be appearing, so that you can click on that and you can install. Or else if you're not interested in downloading the app, means you can make use of this website URL www.slido.com. So if you hit on this URL, you could see the left side picture, the first picture, the Slido first web page, home page will get opened. Okay. So you do not want to create an account or anything. I will be giving you a code. You just need to enter the particular code there. So you could see the arrow mark is pointing to that particular tab. So join as a participant. If I'm giving a code, for example, G230, means you guys have to enter G230, so that it will be entered into the particular session which I have been created. Okay. So if I send a question, that question will reach you guys, and immediately you can give your answers and hit a send button. Only multiple choice kind of questions only will be there. So you can click on the correct answer, and then, and if you hit on the send button, means your answers will come to me. Okay. So this is the left side picture is about how it looks when you open through a Chrome browser or a web browser, anything. If you download app, means you could see the right side first picture, the second arrow mark is pointing to. So the app's homepage will be like this. So when you first enter into the app, the homepage will be like this. Similarly, you can enter the code here. So once you enter the code, you could see the next image. So if I have sent a question, means that question will appear to you. So you can click on the correct answer. If you hit the send button, means that your answers will come to me. So that's it. Instead of giving your answers in your chat box, time you can send your answers to me. Okay. So with that, we will be able to see who have the leaderboard as well. So if you have given all the correct answers, means the leaderboard will also be displayed, so that it will be a kind of motivating or an encouraging for you. Okay. Is that clear? So not only multiple choice questions, if I want to ask you a rating, or if I want to ask you a polling kind of questions or a ranking question means, so for that also we can use the slido.com. Okay. And next one is the nearpod.com. So nearpod.com is also similar to the slido.com. So here also you can make use of the app which is available in App Store or a Play Store, or you can hit the URL www.nearpod.com, so that the home page will be open. As you are a students, you guys do not want to sign up or a sign in, you can just enter the code here as well. Okay, clear? Is that clear, guys? I will be giving you a code. So if you enter the code, you can join into the session. So before we join, before you join every advanced Java programming session, so kindly make sure you are being logged in into the Nearpod as well as the Slido. So simultaneously, we do not have anything. In some classes, we may not have time to attend this quizzes as well. Okay. Kindly make sure that if I'm posting a code means you should immediately able to join. Okay. That alone you have a make a note of it. Okay. So this is the screenshot of browser homepage, and right side which one you are seeing is a screenshot of an app homepage. Okay, so if you install it as app means you have to enter a code, and so that the display you will be getting a display. Okay, so in Nearpod we have various options like quiz. You will be having a real time quiz, or else you can answer your quiz questions in a gaming mode. Okay, as of now only one game is there, one gaming mode of answering the quiz is there in this Nearpod. So that will also be somewhat engaging to you guys, instead of continuously listening to lecturers and continuously filling the Google forms and typing your answers in the chat box. This would make your visualization more appealing, so that you might get attracted to my session. That's it. That is regarding the contents. I need your attendance to me, so that you will get understand the concepts even more easier. Okay. Okay, fine. Shall we have a demo session on how to use this slido.com? So guys, you can just log in into www.slido.com. So the code is, I'm simply giving like S is the correct answer. Okay. The code is 712630. 712630. Have you all joined? Okay. So if you're watching through a system, and if you have hands in your mobile means, you can just scan this QR code also. Okay. So yes, Saran have joined. So if you guys start to join, your names will be visible to me. Okay, Darnish joined. Niveta, Gayatri, Subiksha, Gokul. So if I start the quiz, the questions will start appearing to you. So I have started the quiz. So I have asked you guys, are you familiar with these platforms before? Hope the question might be displaying to you. So you can click on the answer and you can hit on the send button so that your answers will come to me. So if you have given, hit the send button means come back to the GoToMeeting platform. If you guys have given your answers means come back to the GoToMeeting platform. So if I click and I will be able to see how many percentage of the students have answered yes and how many percentage of the students answered no. So likewise, I will be able to see your performance as well, how well you have understood that concept. Okay. So this correct answer also will be displayed. So simply for example, I have chosen S as the correct answer. Okay. So who have answered the correct answers? So likewise, after each question, we will be able to display the leaderboard as well. So that this would be kind of an encouraging part or motivating part for you guys. So this leaderboard will be arranged based on how quick you are answering the particular question. Okay, many of them have given yes only, but how far you are answering that particular question, based on that your rank varies. Okay. So this is how the slido.com works. This is just a demo for you. Okay. Is it okay for you? Do you find any difficulties in swiping through Slido as well as Google GoToMeeting? Are you okay with this real-time quizzes to be conducted as a part of our online learning? Okay, just a minute. We can have a small demo for Nearpod as well. Hope the screen is visible. So from student view, how it would be? So that view itself I'm showing now. Okay. Just for answering a quiz. Okay. Quiz தான் ஆன்சர் பண்ண போறீங்க, பெருசா எதுவும் இல்ல. Just to make the visual more appealing, we have choose this platform. Okay, you can choose any one of the characters, and you will be hearing the sound also. Okay, you can choose it and click on start. Okay, so student one. So if many students join பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னா the எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் வந்து they will be okay. So எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் join பண்ணக்கப்புறம் I will be starting the quiz so that you can answer the quizzes, and whoever answers quick, they will be moving to the destination very fast. So based on the time, you guys will be awarded. ஸோ நீங்க ஆன்சர் பண்ண பண்ண எனக்கு என்னோட லீடர் போர்டில் யார் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆன்சர் பண்றீங்க அப்படின்றது வந்துட்டே இருக்கும். ஓகேங்களா? So from the student, this is my view. So from the students part, questions will be visible to you. So in the மாதிரி questions வரும், நீங்க கரெக்டா ஆன்சர் பண்ண you will be moving forward to the destination. That's it. Okay, so this is how the environment would be. So you can click on the answer. If it is correct, it will tell you, and so that it will be taking you forward. So that's it. How we work with Nearport for answering our real-time quizzes. So simultaneously, I would be seeing the leaderboards as well. So with this also, I will be able to, and I would be able to choose which question, which student took how much time to answer this question, how far you have understood it. Likewise, lots of analytics and reports I will be able to see after you guys answer all those questions. Okay. So these are all the only platforms we are going to use for our online study purpose. Okay. So now shall we move on to the module 1, or do you guys have any doubts? I need only one thing from your side, just this interaction, and please join the session on time. And if I give you any assignments, means please submit it on time. Most probably we'll try to have some quizzes on the daily basis itself in our class itself. Okay, if we do not have time, means I will send you through Google Classroom. Okay, just complete it. Not more than 5 to 6 MCQs will be there. Okay, so after that, if I giving a problematic questions means, so I will be giving you 2 to 3 days of time so that you can take that time to submit. Okay. So kindly concentrate, because this is going to help you with placements as well. Yes, you will be having Java training and all in a placement session, but if you learn already, means again if you go and study there, it would be even more easier for you. Okay. So our model 1 is Java version and context. Okay, so this is the syllabus. We are going to see an overview of Java, data types, variables, arrays, operators, control statements, and Java 8 version 9, 10, and 11 version, what's happening now, and parsing code with behavioral parameterization. So all those things we are going to see. So first, overview of Java. So நம்ம Java அப்படினாலே நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும் ஒரு programming language. Yes, it is a programming language, but we should know why this Java has been come into existence. So that அந்த அதோட motto தெரியல அப்படின்னா, then it is not use of studying Java. Okay, so this is not in your syllabus, but I just want to tell you guys. So those who have attended the Java for Beginners concept, they knew this already. Okay, so for those who are hearing it for the first time, I just want to tell how this Java came into existence. Okay. Okay, fine. Now shall we start our formal session? Okay, fine. Okay, thank you for your responses. So நம்ம வந்து programming language, why should we go for, let it be anything, either there could be a Java or C or any kind of programming language. Why should we go for that? What is the need behind that? நம்மளுக்கு ஜாவாங்கிறது உங்களுக்கு புதுசா இருக்கலாம், பட் ப்ரோக்ராமிங் லாங்குவேஜ்ங்கிறதே உங்களுக்கு புதுசு இல்லையாமா? Why should we go for those programming languages? Is there any necessity to solve problems? Okay, good. Nowadays we have yes, platform independent, good to innovate something new is very good. As if I want to innovate something new, and it should be platform independent, it should work in all cross platforms, and a major complex problem also has been solved within a fraction of second, means I need a language which support all those things. Okay, and that particular language has to be understandable by the user, as well as it should be a machine understandable one, isn't it? So if I say English language, means it could be understandable only by the humans, but while it is transferred to the in keyboard I'm typing A B C D, but while it is transferred to the system, the ASCII value of A and B only is being transferred to that particular system, because they understand only that particular language. Whereas in programming language also the same thing is being happening. It is understandable to the user, as well as if it is being transferred to the system or a computer, means that computer will also be able to understand what the user is trying to instruct. Okay, so for that we are having compilers, interpreters, and also this will do that conversion job. Okay, and also the main purpose is full nowadays we are moving into a world of automation. Hope you guys agree. all automation. நம்ம நார்மல் ஃபோன்ஸ்லயே வந்து வாய்ஸ் அசிஸ்டன்ட் வச்சிருக்கோம். அதுல போக அமேசான்ல எக்கோ, அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய அசிஸ்டன்ட்ஸ் வந்து நம்மளுக்கு வந்துருச்சு. ஸோ வை டு ஆட்டோமேட் அவர் ஒர்க், the humanoட manual effort la reduce ஆயிட்டு the whichever thing we are choosing, it should be fully automated. Washing machine வேணா கூட I need a fully automatic machine, we are choosing like that. Okay, so என்னவா இருந்தாலும் ஒரு fully automation வேணும் அப்படின்னா we should have some set of language. அந்த language வந்து நம்ம திரும்ப திரும்ப யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடியதா இருக்கணும். ஒரு ஒரு செட் ஆஃப் கோட்ஸ் எழுதிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா that should be reusable. அது எப்ப வேணாலும் நான் போய் பார்த்தேன் அப்படின்னா it should be understandable to me. So whoever is working on, for example, some of them will be working on a Windows platform or Unix platform or a Linux platform or a Mac OS platform. So the main aim is that all of them should be able to use that particular language in whatever platform they are having. All the platforms should get supported. So that is why they were keep on progressing with programming languages. Okay, so computer language innovation and development occurs for two fundamental reasons. One is to adapt to changing environments and uses. So day by day technology is getting betterment, and we are getting the new products each and every day. So previously we were not aware of this Facebook, Insta. As you guys are 2K kids, you guys may be aware, but in general I'm talking, previously they were not aware of what is meant by Facebook, what is meant by Instagram, what is meant by WhatsApp. They were sticking on to some old Google apps like Orkut, isn't it? And we do not have some WhatsApp messaging app. They were sticking on to a conventional messaging app. So by the development of this programming languages only, we were able to adapt to the changing environments and uses. So if I look at the hardware side, my hardware part is also being new technologies being implemented on them as well. So starting I had a room size computer, and after that I'm having a desktop, and in addition to that I have a laptop, and whichever thing is covered by a laptop can be done by a tablet. So likewise the hardware part is also being improvising. So to support all those things, my software should also be improved. So that is why we are going for developments in programming languages. Okay, so Java was also developed to was driven by both in equal measures. Okay, so it should adapt the changing environment, as well as it should implement the improvements in the art of programming. Okay, so ஜாவான்றது உடனே முளைச்செல்லாம் வந்துடல. ஓகேங்களா? So before Java we had many previous languages like B language, C language, C++ language, and Java, isn't it? So B க்கு முன்னாடியே வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா we had Fortran, Cobol, Pascal. So ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னா அந்த லாங்குவேஜ் டிஸ்அட்வான்டேஜ்ன்றனால நெக்ஸ்ட் லாங்குவேஜ்க்கு போக மாட்டாங்க. இன்னும் நம்ம பெட்டரா என்ன அட்வான்டேஜஸ் கொண்டு வரலாம் அப்படிங்கறத யோசிச்சு they will be developing the further languages. So likewise Java has inherited properties from B as well as C and C++, and finally Java has appeared. So Java வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா எதுல இருந்து ஒரு ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்டான ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி இன்ஹெரிட் பண்ணிருக்குன்னு சொல்லி கேட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா ஃப்ரம் C++. அப்படின்னாலே சிஏ கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது C++ நம்ம ஏன் அட்வான்டேஜஸ் சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா இட் சப்போஸ் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் ஓரியன்டட் ப்ரோக்ராமிங் லைக் பாலிமார்பிசம், ஒரு கிளாஸ்ல இருந்து இன்னொரு கிளாஸோட ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி இன்ஹெரிட் பண்றது. ஸோ தீஸ் திங்ஸ் ஆர் நாட் அவைலபிள் இன் சி. பட் இன் C++ it is available. ஒரு பேஸ் கிளாஸ் இருந்து சைல்ட் கிளாஸ் டெரைவ் பண்ணலாம், பேரண்ட் கிளாஸ்ல இருந்து நிறைய நம்பர் ஆஃப் சைல்ட் கிளாஸ். ஸோ ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராமை வச்சுட்டு ஐ வில் பி ஏபிள் டு கால் மெனி நம்பர் ஆஃப் ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ் பை மீன்ஸ் ஆஃப் திஸ் கிளாஸ் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ், encapsulation, polymorphism, function overloading. So these are all the very great advantage when compared to C. So that particular advantage is being inherited in Java as well. So Java supports object oriented concepts also. So that was a bigger strength to Java. Okay, so you know C was designed by so and so in AT&T Bell Laboratories. So before C, what are all the languages available, and before C++, what are all the, sorry, when was the C++ developed and by whom? It was John Stroustrup. Okay, so the எல்லாமே போயிட்டு இருக்கு from 1970s. Before 1970s we had a basic COBOL, Fortran and Pascal. So after 1970s slowly C language, C++ have been evolving. So in the year of 1990s, at that time also Java was not there. Okay, there was a company named Sun Microsystems. So they were decided to do a project. Okay, so what was that project means that they have, இப்போ நம்ம embedded systems படிக்கிறோம் இல்லையாமா, இப்போ நம்ம ஒரு கோடிங் எழுதுவோம், embedded சில ஒரு கோடிங் எழுதி நம்ம அர்டினோலியோ இல்ல ஏதோ ஒரு போர்ட்ல வந்து பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டு, so according to our coding அதுல எல்இடி கனெக்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தோம்னா எல்இடி வந்து ஆன் ஆகுறதோ ஆஃப் ஆகுறதோ, இல்ல ஏதாவது பஸ்ஸர் கனெக்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தோம்னா the buses starts buzzing. Likewise, depending upon our code, the hardware will react, right? So their aim was also to develop such kind of project. Okay, so their main aim was to develop a software for consumer electronics. So at that time they had consumer electronics like toasters, bread toasters, washing machines and VCRs, not even DVDs, only VCRs were there. Okay, so they were trying to develop a software for consumer electronics. Okay, so the project was called as a green. With the team head was James Gosling. So under him he had many team members like Patrick, Chris, Ed Frank and Mike Sheridan. Okay, so the main aim was to develop a software for consumer electronics. They were writing the programs. At that time C++ was only popular, and that was the only thing which was existing, the most advantageous one. Okay, so what they were doing is they were writing the C++ programs and they were embedding the programs into the hardware. Either it could be a toaster or a washing machine or a VCR. Okay, but their main aim was to make the appliances more intelligent. Okay, so they were trying the codes in C++ and they were embedding them continuously into the microcontrollers or microprocessor, whatever it may be. But at that time they were while they were doing this process, they found a serious issue. Okay, so what that issue was, that it's a memory leak problem. Okay, so any idea on what is meant by memory leak? Any idea on what could be memory leak? General meaning கேக்குறமா, டெக்னிக்கலா சொல்ல வேண்டாம். General memory leak no, what did you infer? Guys, am I audible? Wastage of memory. Okay, see, in this glass of juice, that pick, what do you infer? At least from that, are you able to tell? Okay, Rohan has given an answer like wastage of memory. Anyone else? Losing memory. Okay. Okay, I will give you some unnecessary space of memory. Okay, Nityashri has given. Okay, so I will give you some example. You are having film. Okay, let it not enough memory. Okay, Anthony has given his answer like not enough memory. Consumes more memory. Okay, so I will give you some one basic example. So you are having a film, any film. Okay, so its memory capacity is 8 GB. The film's capacity is 8 GB, and you guys were given with a pen drive with a capacity of 4 GB only, and I'm asking you to copy that 8 GB film into the 4 GB pen drive. Is that possible? It is not possible. Why is it not possible? No space, because its capacity it can hold only up to 4 GB. If I am uh, placing the data above 4 GB, means what will happen? இப்போ டேம்லயே ஃபுல் அதோட கொள்ளளவு நிறைஞ்சிருச்சு அப்படின்னா என்னமாகும்? வெள்ளம் ஊருக்குள்ள வருது இல்ல. So what does it mean? So it can hold only up to its capacity. So if the data is given more than its capacity, means the data starts to leak, isn't it? Hope you guys agree with me. Yes. So I'm giving you an 8 GB pen drive. Okay, let it be a 16 GB pen drive. Okay. So for copying an 8 GB film, sorry, 8 GB movie, I'm giving you a 16 GB pen drive. But at this time, will it work? Will that film would be copied into that pen drive? Okay, I gave you a 16 GB pen drive and I told you this is a 16 GB pen drive, and you guys know that it was an 8 GB file, so that you automatically thought that okay, this will fit into that 16 GB file. But whether did you ask me, ma'am, do you have that 16 GB free space, or else do you have any data already present? Did you ask me that question? No, right? So this is obvious. So likewise, when programmers start to do programs, their mind does not move into the memory part. Okay, we have for this program we have used this much memory sources. So if we clear this memory sources, or we untie this memory resources from this particular program only, the other resources, I mean the other following programs will be able to access those particular programs. Likewise, the program concentrating on memory, that was a big problem. So what happened is this memory leakage problem started to arise while they were doing programs in this C++ programming. Okay, so what they were deciding is that so first, if I want to design a software for my consumer electronics, means I first need a programming language that will support automatic memory management, so that as a programmer I do not want to concentrate on the memory management. My software itself, or else my programming language will automatically take care of it, and I will not see these kinds of serious issues like data loss and all. Okay, so keeping that point in mind, okay, and also they had one more problem is that if it is supporting one platform, means that the C++ language is not supporting the another platform, if it is working only on compilers and not on web applications. So again, that was also a problem. So the second thing that hit their mind is that it should be platform independent also. So these two things were continuously striking them, and what they did is that instead of developing a software for consumer electronics, first they decided to design a programming language with automatic memory management and platform independent nature. Okay, so this is so slowly Java started into picture. Okay, started to come into picture. So the first the team was so they left that developing a software for that consumer electronics. They kept that project and they started to design a programming language. So already the team head was James Gosling, right? The team again expanded with again 3 to 4 members. In that, Bill Joy, he was a developer of Unix, so that guy also joined that particular team, and they developed a program called as WebRunner. At that time, that was called as a web browser. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு அந்த ப்ரோக்ராமிங் டெவலப் பண்ணி வெப் browser ஒன்னு கிரியேட் பண்றாங்க. அந்த வெப் browserோட பேர் என்னன்னு வைக்கிறாங்கன்னா ஹாட் ஜாவா. ஓகேங்களா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராமிங் லாங்குவேஜ் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் மெமரி மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வச்சு இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் இண்டிபெண்டா டிசைன் பண்ணாங்கன்னு சொன்னேன் இல்லையாமா, தட் தே நேம்ட் அஸ் ஓக், நாட் ஜாவா. ஓக்குன்னு சொல்லி தான் நேம் பண்றாங்க. அந்த டெவலப் பண்ண ஓக் லாங்குவேஜ் பெஸ்ட்னு காட்டணுங்கிறதுக்காக அந்த ஓக் லாங்குவேஜ் வச்சு they were developing a web browser. Web browserனா compulsorily it will be supported in all the platforms, right? Isn't it? So எல்லா பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ஸ்லயும் சப்போர்ட் ஆகிற மாதிரியான வெப் browsers they were developing. Okay, so இப்போ கூகுள் குரோம் எடுத்துட்டா in mobile software also it will be supporting, in Windows software also it will be supporting. So likewise they have developed a web browser. At that time they named as WebRunner, and it was later renamed as Hot Java. ஓகேங்களா, so after 1995 then what they did is that they renamed Oak language into Java. ஓகேங்களா. so this is how Java came into existence. இதுக்கு ஏன் ஜாவாக்கு ஜாவான்னு பேர் வச்சாங்க அப்படின்னா, so did anyone know what is the logo of this Java language? Hope you guys have come across it. ஜாவாவோட லோகோ பார்த்திருக்கீங்களாமா? ஜாவா லாங்குவேஜோட லோகோ teacup, a coffee cup with the steam coming out of it, isn't it? So these நான் சொன்னேன் அந்த டீம்னு சொல்லிட்டு, so these teams were discussing about அந்த ஒரு brainstorming idea வந்துச்சுல, why should not we develop a programming language by ourselves which consists of automatic memory management and then so and so futures அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So at that time they were yes very good Anthony, so they drank more coffee not tea. They drank more coffee at that time. While that discussion time also they were sitting in a coffee shop, and there will be putting some special kind of coffee, so that is the most favorite for all the team members. Okay, so during that time they have been brainstormed with that particular idea, so that was also a main reason. And then they were living in a city which has a Java அவங்களோட most, I'm not sure, but I have come across this. அவங்களோட ஊர்லயும் ஜாவா அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஃபேமஸ் சிட்டி இருந்துச்சாம். so on remembrance with that, and as they are addicted to coffee and அந்த coffee shop உங்களுக்கு favorite place அப்படின்றனால, why should not we name this as Java அப்படின்னு சொல்லி they named it as Java. Okay, and the logo was the coffee cup. Okay, so this is how Java came into picture with deriving the concepts of அவங்க C++ ல இருந்து அவங்க கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம் இல்லையா. so C++ ல இருந்து அது வந்தங்காட்டி C++ ஓட டிஸ்அட்வான்டேஜ் ஓவர் கம் பண்ணி வந்ததா இல்ல C++ ஓட எக்ஸ்டெண்டட் வெர்ஷன் கேட்டா நோ. ஓகே, C++ அதுக்கான அட்வான்டேஜ் அதுக்கு இருக்கு. பட் இதுல என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா, they have been retargeted for some other use. so Java டெவலப் பண்ணியாச்சு, ஓகே நம்ம ஃப்ரீயா இருக்கலாம், அடுத்து நம்மளோட ப்ராஜெக்ட கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணலான்ற நேரத்துல again there was a boom into the technology which is nothing but the internet. Okay, so again there Java has to was retargeted for the internet as well. ஓகேங்களா. so அவங்க வந்து இனிஷியலா வந்து இன்டர்நெட்டை கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணி ஜாவாவை. What is the difference between C++ and Java? Okay, Hari Nikesh, I will answer your question, but just a minute, I will complete it. Okay. Okay, fine. So initially their motivation was not internet. So as technologies were developing, their hardware சைட்லயும் வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா எல்லாமே ஃபுல்லி ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் ஆயிடுச்சு. இப்போ நீங்களே பார்த்துருப்பீங்க IoT devices. ஸோ IoT devices-க்குலாம் எங்கிருந்து வேணாலும் we will be able to switch on the light, switch off the fan, likewise everything we can do. ஸோ அந்த ஹார்ட்வேரும் இன்டர்நெட்டை சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுது, as well as the software also should support. இப்போ ஹார்ட்வேரே வந்து அந்த அளவுக்கு டெவலப் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா அப்போ நம்ம அதுக்கு சப்ளை பண்ணக்கூடிய சாஃப்ட்வேரும் it should support the future advancements as well. So they retargeted the Java for internet also. So again they were developing something, and Java was applicable for the internet also. So by means of Java we were able to create web applications, but by means of C++ we cannot do that. We don't have that kind of facility. So not only Java la வந்து பார்த்தா we have a number of frameworks, இதுதான் சொல்ல முடியாது, and Java scripts are available. So நீங்க ஒரு web application develop பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா obviously you should concentrate on Angular, Java or JavaScripts. JavaScript is a language. Java யூஸ் பண்ணி நீங்க எழுதக்கூடிய ஒரு செட் ஆஃப் லைன்ஸ் தான் வந்து ஜே ஸ்கிரிப்ட்ஸ், ஜாவா ஸ்கிரிப்ட்ஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த ஸ்கிரிப்ட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கறதுனாலேவே வெப் அப்ளிகேஷனை டெவலப் பண்றதுக்காக நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றதுதாமா. ஓகேங்களா. இப்போ நீங்க பிளிப்கார்ட் ஓபன் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா யூசர் நேம் பாஸ்வேர்ட் கேக்குதுங்களா, அந்த வெப் பேஜ் உங்களுக்கு எப்படி டிஸ்பிளே ஆகுது. ஸோ பேக் ஸ்டேஜ்ல பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா ஏதோ ஒரு ஸ்கிரிப்டிங் லாங்குவேஜ் யூஸ் பண்ணி தான் அதை எழுதியிருப்பாங்க. ஓகேங்களா. ஸோ அந்த ஸ்கிரிப்டிங் லாங்குவேஜ் வந்து எது சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுது, C++ சப்போர்ட் பண்ணாது, பட் ஜாவா சப்போர்ட்ஸ் இட். So this is the main difference on what is C++ and Java is about. Okay. So Java was not designed to replace C++, but to solve a different set of problems. So as Java is an internet version of C++, in keta entirely no. C++ ஒரு இந்தியன் ஓஷன் அப்படின்னா ஜாவா ஒரு பெசிபிக் ஓஷன், அந்த மாதிரி ஒண்ணுக்கு ஒன்னும் they are not compatible. Okay. So this is the history behind Java, why it came into picture and who developed this. So as Sun Microsystems was இப்ப நம்ம வந்து why we use Java and why we use C++. இப்போ மோஸ்ட்லி சி பிளஸ் அந்த டைம்ல வந்து நான் சொன்னேன் இந்த இதுவே நீங்க ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிளா கூட எடுத்துக்கலாம். இப்போ நீங்க ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் எழுதி அதை ஒரு ஹார்ட்வேர்ல ரன் பண்ணி அது ஒரு ப்ராடக்டா மாத்துறதுக்கு சி பிளஸ் பிளஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அந்த சி பிளஸ் பிளஸ்ல மெமரி லீக் அப்படின்ற ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கனால வி வென்ட் ஃபார் ஜாவா. ஸோ சி பிளஸ் பிளஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி நீங்க ஒரு வெப் அப்ளிகேஷன் கிரியேட் பண்ண முடியுமா, இல்ல ஒரு மொபைல் சப்போர்ட் பண்ற ஒரு ஏபிகே ஃபைலோ இல்ல எக்ஸிக்யூட்டபிள் ஃபைலோ நீங்க டெவலப் பண்ண முடியுமானா முடியாது. ஆனா ஜாவா யூஸ் பண்ணி யூ வில் பி ஏபிள் டு டெவலப் an APK file, you will be able to develop an executable file. Executable na or application or user and product away you will be able to develop by means of Java, but with C++ you cannot do it. So that is the main advantage of why we are using Java. ஓகேங்களா? ஒரு யூசர் அண்ட் அப்ளிகேஷன் உங்களால ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்டே will be able to create an user and application. Okay. Okay, fine. Just a minute. I'm not sure whether I'm having that. I will check it and show it to you guys. Just a minute. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see the full video. See, hope you could see this picture. Actually, this is a login page of car booking system. This was developed by our final year EC student just for his Virtusa project. Okay, so he did this by means of the JavaScript language only, HTML and Java language only. They have done this project. ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு யூசர் அண்ட் ப்ராடக்ட் நீங்க டெவலப் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா யூ கேன் மேக் யூஸ் ஆஃப் திஸ் ஜாவா. பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் மெமரி மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்டான்னு கேட்டா இல்ல, எஸ் இட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ a பார்ட் ஆஃப் இட். அதுக்கு ஜாவால மெமரி ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ்லாம் இல்லைன்னா எஸ் இட் இஸ் தேர், பட் when compared to C++, it is of very minimal size and will be easily able to recover from that. Okay. ஸோ இங்க ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷன் பாக்குறீங்களா, இது நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட் நம்ம சீனியர் வந்து கிரியேட் பண்ணதா லாஸ்ட் இயர் ஃபார் ஹிஸ் வர்ச்சுசா ப்ராஜெக்ட். ஸோ லைக் திஸ் இந்த ஜாவா யூஸ் பண்ணி HTML லாங்குவேஜஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம ஒரு யூசர் அண்ட் அப்ளிகேஷனே நம்மளால கிரியேட் பண்ண முடியும். அதே C++ யூஸ் பண்ணி we will not be able to do it. அந்த C++ ஃபைல நம்ம ஒரு .apk ஃபைலாவோ .exe ஃபைலாவோ நம்மளால ரிட்ரீவ் பண்ணி எடுக்க முடியாது. ஓகேங்களா? So this is all about the history of Java, and actually it's time. Shall we discuss about this Java buzzwords? Nothing Java buzzwords no, just futures, or you can name them as futures of Java. So what is it now? It is simple, secure, portable. So secure, why I am telling it as secure means I have shown you a picture. He has developed a car booking system. So if a car booking system is, definitely it should be a car like Ola something. So for each and every customer there might be supported with user IDs and passwords. So all those things has to be maintained in a very secure manner. So for that purpose also this Java gives a best facility. So that is why it is also called as secure and portable. You can work on multiple platforms, and it is object oriented, as we know. Obviously it supports OOPS concept, and robust. What is meant by this robust? What is the literal meaning behind robustness? We tell it right. Secret file. Strong. Okay. Okay. Hold on with your answers. While we are discussing about robustness, we can see what is that. Okay. And next it is multi-threaded. So multi-threaded means, any idea? What is meant by multitasking? Guys, am I audible? What is meant by multitasking? Multiple tasks will be performed in a simultaneous manner. Parallelly, we will be doing likewise in Java, we have n number of objects. So all these objects will be working at a parallel manner. That is why we term it as multi-threading. Okay. In same time, many tasks can be done. Okay. And architecture neutral. Any idea on what is meant by architecture neutral? As platform independent, it relates to hardware most probably. So we might be using an Arduino board, or we might be using, just for example I'm telling, or we might be using different versions of microcontrollers or microprocessors. So for all those versions of these hardwares, it should support. So that is why it is called as an architecture neutral. Okay. And interpreted, so easily it will be easy for us to debug. And high performance, distributed, and dynamic. So these are all the features of Java. So simple means it is designed to be easy for the professional programmer to learn and use. Object oriented, yes, the object oriented concept is there, so that it is a clean, usable, and pragmatic approach to objects. And robust means, now check what is that. Restricts the programmer to find the mistakes early, performs compile time and runtime checks, manages memory automatically. Okay, so if I'm developing code means, for one time it is executing, it is performing well. The second time you're executing, for that also it is performing well. So if you are executing it for n number of times, for the n number of times, it should give you the same result, isn't it? For the first execution is giving one result, and second execution it is giving another result, means it is not a robust thing. Okay, it should stay long, as well as it should stay the correct one. The correct output should be given each and every time I execute that particular program. So this is somewhat related to that. Mostly robustness is related to hardware, but as far as this programming language is concerned, we can take it in that part. Okay. And multi-threaded means supports multi-threaded programming. So for concurrent computations, simultaneously we can execute many number of calculations. Okay. And architectural neutral is platform independent. So what future supports this platform independent is that we have in Java, we have some Java virtual machine. We will be seeing it. What is that? So by means of that only, this platform independent nature has been there in this Java. Okay. The main thing to be noted is Java virtual machine and Java bytecode, and we will be seeing what is that. Okay. And interpreted and high performance. Okay. This is because of this Java bytecode. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி நம்ம Java bytecode னா என்னன்னு பார்க்கணும். So in our future sessions, we will be seeing what is meant by Java virtual machine. So that machine is responsible for converting the Java user understandable language into the machine understandable language, which is in the form of Java bytecode. ஓகேங்களா, the machine understandable form is of Java bytecode. So Java virtual machine னா என்ன, bytecode னா is similar to the compiler. So that is also not in our syllabus, but if you guys need to know how this Java programs works now, definitely you should have an idea on what is it. So by tomorrow we can cover Java virtual machine, Java bytecode, and after that we can move on to the data types and arrays. Okay, is that okay for you all? So just give me a quick feedback in Slido on how far you enjoyed this session. Same code 712630. And if you have any, as this is our first class, and if you have any positive things or negative things to share with, you can kindly and be open to share, so that I can take it up. And this is absolutely for the benefit of you guys. So if you guys are not comfortable with my teaching means, then there is no need of, there is not use of teaching to you. Okay. So if you are not feeling comfortable in any part means, kindly let me know, so that in our future sessions I can correct it and make your sessions more interesting and engaging. So if you have given your rating, shall we wind up the session? So do you have anything to convey? Okay, I will be okay. Thank you, Harinikesh, and thank you, Gautam, Anthony, Subiksha. Thank you all for your responses. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for joining the session. Okay, Srinjana, I will take up your word and I will try to teach in a very slower manner. Okay. It's story mari irundangante I just moved off with the flow. If I try starting explaining concepts, I will put it very slow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. You can leave the session. Thank you, Indumati.